The next item is item number 10, application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 15-4324, block 1931, lot 16, 292 Dekalb Avenue in the Clinton Hill Historic District, a row house built in 1876 and altered in the mid-20th century, and this is an application to install a rooftop railing and a rear deck.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rebecca Salgado, Preservation Department staff. Subject property is on the southwest corner of Dekalb Avenue and Waverly Avenue. Here's some current photos of the building, which was altered prior to designation. The applicant proposes to install a wood deck with a metal railing on the roof. This deck will be accessible via a roof hatch, and the railing will be visible from multiple vantage points on the street. The applicant also proposes to install a steel rear deck across the full width of the rear facade, and alter a window opening to become a door leading out to the deck. This deck will be visible from the street. And lastly, the applicant proposes to replace an existing portion of wrought iron fence with a new steel fence 6 feet tall with a wood privacy screen behind. So here's a rendering showing the proposed fence, rear deck, and railing. Here's a photo of the mock-up of the rooftop railing. And so a block plan showing some other existing rear decks and additions on the block. And architect Michael Scududu,
Yeah.
Okay.
Take me back to elementary school.
Yeah. Thank you. Go up, add name, restate your name,
Yes, my name is Michael Scududo.
Okay,
I'm an architect.
and add what you need to add or would like to add to what's been said.
I mean, Rebecca pretty much
Yeah.
summed it all up. There's not much more to say. Actually, the only difference is the fence is not going to be a steel fence. It's going to be a wrought iron fence. And this is similar fence across DeKalb Avenue. This is the fence on the property. So this is a similar fence that's about 6 feet tall across DeKalb Avenue. This is the existing fence on the front of the property at DeKalb Avenue. This fence, where we are, we're proposing to replace it, has previously been replaced with a plain steel fence, and our design is to copy this with these sort of fleur-de-lis finals on the top of the fence, and with the double row of them, similar to the one that's across the street, across DeKalb Avenue. Actually it's similar also to the one that's on our corner, keeping that historical style, just with a wooden privacy screen behind it, because that's the rear yard for the ground floor apartment.
Okay. Questions, anyone? Anything? Yeah.
Sorry, I'm confused that the fence that you showed us the picture of is existing and you're going to replace it?
No, so the existing fence at the section that we're replacing,
got it.
this is what it looks like. It's
Yeah.
just a plain metal fence.
But it used to have the finials, it used to be a fence.
Well, I assume so. The part that has the finials goes, sort of the first, it goes along DeKalb Avenue and about the first 8 or 10 feet back on Waverly, and then the rest of Waverly is this plain metal fence. So yeah, at some point it was replaced.
Okay.
So what
Yep.
is the, so now, you're doing the privacy screen, it doesn't have that now, right?
No, currently,
It's that low one. It doesn't-
yes, sorry, let me go back.
So it's gonna be 6 foot high, and so what is that privacy screen? What is
So the privacy screen are wooden, horizontal cedar boards, just mounted behind the fence with the verticals behind them, so that from the street you just see the face of the boards as
You
shown
just
in
see
this
the face of
rendering.
the boards, you don't see.
You're not going to see the wooden uprights. The wooden uprights are going to be inside. So you're going to see the metal fence, the new metal fence, and directly behind that will be the wooden boards to create privacy for the garden.
How close is the
It'll be mounted, the metal fence is gonna go on the existing concrete curb, which is like 6-8 inches wide, and the wood's gonna go behind it. So it'll be set back a couple inches from the.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, is there testimony? Community board recommends, or the community board, land use committee recommends approval. I'm not certain whether it went to the full board. And nothing further to add? Yes?
So is this kind of backing, or this privacy backing, a common thing in this neighborhood for
So this is the Clinton Hill District. In the 4-3 district, there's a similar one on Dekalb and South Portland facing Fort Greene Park, where the same fence, wooden fence was done, but not within this. I couldn't find another example in this specific district, but the next district over does.
Okay. Discussion, yeah, I'll start with you.
Yeah,
hold it.
Would you consider plantings rather than forests?
I mean, it's because the backyard is directly onto the street. I mean, yet, you know, a box hedge takes years to grow in, and it's not necessarily as private as the woods. We really want to create more privacy than that. So it's like a traditional backyard. That's a private backyard.
Marjorie,
I'm a fan of wisteria. It grows like crazy.
put it have it grow on the privacy fence.
Right, exactly. Okay. Now, I'm actually okay with the proposal. I mean, in the end, really what happens with these kinds of things is people just sort of lean stuff up against the fences, and you have sort of a garbage version of privacy, so I'd rather at least be designed.
Okay, Chris?
I agree, although I would suggest that it maybe not be raw or wood, maybe stain it or paint it a darker color, just so it doesn't jump out, and maybe drop it down a little bit so that you can read the nice detail that they're paying for on the wrought iron.
No. Joan, please? Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with Michael's comments.
Yeah.
I can support it the way it is, but I think maybe that the applicant could work with the staff and maybe think about the finish on it so it's not so light.
Cedar will be gray in 3 years, so it won't even be an issue. I can approve this.
That's what I wish to add. That
No, it's okay, we got it. Libby?
sorry.
Yeah, I can support this application.
Okay. Okay, so we'll close the hearing, please. Motion second, Marjorie, please.
In the matter of a certificate of appropriateness for 292 DeKalb Avenue in the Clinton Hill Historic District, the application is to install rooftop railing and a rear deck with a fence. I recommend approval, finding that the proposed work will not result in the removal or demolition of any significant architectural features of the building, that the rooftop and rear yard decks and railings will be simply designed and typical in scale, that the proposed rooftop deck and railing set back from the front and rear facades will be visible only from limited vantage points, that the proposed rear yard deck will not substantially eliminate the presence of a rear yard, and that other rear yard incursions exist within the block, that the proposed rear deck and its metal railing, which will be visible from Waverly Avenue, will maintain an open appearance, that the material details and finish of the iron portion of the rear fence are in keeping with historic fences found at buildings of this age and style, and that the replacement of the rear fence follows the line of the curb and does not alter the curb, and that the proposed work will not detract from the special architectural and historic character of the building, the central green space within the block, or the Clinton Hill Historic District.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I oppose. Approved. Oh, one opposed. Thank you. Approved. Thank you.
This is owned by Dekalb.